Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the worst reviews ever. All right, we got Wally in here, KC Fred, CLS, and Amazing. So before we start the topics, or get into the rating, man, how's everybody doing today?
All right.
Hey,
Doing good.
feeling Super Bowl clean up in here.
But before we jumped on the recording today, Amazing was over here trying to remix the definition of like one hit wonder. So you good now? You understand what a one hit wonder is? Amazing. You all right? You understand?
Nope, because I googled 90s R&B one hit wonders, and I got a whole list for y'all to catch up later.
All right.
Okay. We're gonna break that down. I definitely want to see. We got to narrow that down. We're gonna do some FBI investigation.
Yeah.
But all right, we'll go ahead and let me pull up the slides, and we'll go ahead and jump into the movie review. All right. So give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and start reading this. All right. So Mea Culpa. Mea Culpa is a 2024 American legal thriller film written and directed by Tyler Perry. So the summary for this movie is when criminal defense attorney Mia Harper takes on the murder case of artist Zaire Malloy, the truth isn't as obvious as what it seems. While she tries to determine the innocence or guilt of her cagey yet the seductive client, it is uncovered that everyone is guilty of something. That was a pretty good little summary. But all right, let me jump into the directors and producers slide. So, of course, directed and written by Tyler Perry, produced by Tyler Perry, Diane Ashford, Will Ariu, Angie Bones, and Kelly Rowland. Damn, I didn't know Kelly was producing on this too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll go ahead and jump into the cast slide. So on the cast, we had Kelly Rowland as Mia, Javante Rhodes as Zaire, Nick Sager as Ray, Sean Sager as Cal. And I was looking them up. You know, they're actual brothers in real life.
They are. Facts.
Yeah. I was like, that's pretty cool that they had them as brothers. So yeah, that's a nice little Tyler's like, look, we gonna get these two light-skinned brothers over here from England, right?
But I think
Something
Cal.
like
I think Cal's more. He's done more than Nick though. Cause I know.
Yeah.
I know who. Well, Sean. I'm sorry. I know who Sean is from Top Boy.
That's right. Yeah, that's the older one, right?
No, I think Sean's the younger one. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think he's the younger one. I think Nick's older.
You look like the younger one.
Yeah, the one. That's the one that was
Look
married.
younger.
The one that was married to Mia. That was Cal.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was confused on that.
Yeah, he was on Top Boy though. If you ever watched Top Boy on Netflix, that show.
I haven't watched that yet. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Crime drama. Yeah, he's on there.
But yeah, they had a good little filmography. I know they're British actors and stuff, so they doing their thing over there.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ron Rako Lee as Jimmy. Pretty good actor. I've seen him on quite a few stuff.
Yeah. He's been on a lot of.
Moesha, sister.
Yeah, he's been a lot of Tyler Perry works. He's been on a lot of Tyler Perry works.
He has.
So he's solid.
I think
Well, in this movie, he was the friend zone dude. AKA Dirty Mackin. Dirty Mackin. My man took it to a whole new level. So, all right, Shannon Thornton as Charlize, Carrie O'Malley as Azalea, Ariana Baran as Gina, and Connor Will as Bobby, and Angela Robinson as Renee. All right, y'all know what time it is.
You know, okay, I thought we were going to break down.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, I was just, if you were familiar with some of their work, some of the other actors, are you familiar?
Yeah, go ahead. Break it down if you want to.
Well, I mean, Shannon Thornton, was it Charlize? She was on there's a show on Stars called P-Valley. You ever watch P-Valley?
Oh, okay, that was her.
Yeah,
I know I've seen him.
Yeah, there's a stripper on there, but she was in that movie with Chris Rock and Adam Sandler, The Week Of. Remember?
Okay.
On Netflix.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
Mm-hmm.
I know the mother, she wasn't in I forgot the movie, I forgot that TV series that's on Showtimes. Oh my gosh. I gotta remember the TV show, but I remember the mother that played in this movie. She was on that other TV series, but I forgot what it was. It was the dude that played Wolverine, not Wolverine, but in Wolverine movie that played Sabretooth.
Oh yeah, him. I know.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the show on Showtime? Oh, you talking about Ray Donovan?
Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, because I know
Ray
I
Donovan.
remember her from Ray Donovan. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to watch it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out too. I heard that's a
Oh
good
yeah,
show.
yeah, right. Yeah, Ray
And then you
Donovan's
see,
good.
and y'all know who Trevante Rose is. Have you seen
That was my man on Moonlight, right?
Moonlight, right?
Mm.
Moonlight. He was in Bird Box too. Have you seen Bird Box?
Yeah, I saw that.
was on
Okay.
Bird Box?
He was the one that ended up with Sandra Bullock at the end.
Right.
Yep. And then
Yeah,
you
because
see,
Rose is pretty brand new to me, so
right?
it's
And
my
then you
first
see
time counting.
on Hulu. Did you watch Tyson? He played Tyson. In the
Yeah,
Hulu
he played
series.
Tyson.
Yeah, he was good too. I liked it.
Yeah, he
Tyson
was
didn't like it. The real one didn't like it, but I liked it. I thought it was entertaining to watch.
All right, but y'all ready to go to the next slide? Or appreciate that breaking them down what shows and movies they was in. But all right, we'll go ahead and jump into the rating slide. So, all right, we gonna start from the top down. So I'll go ahead and give my rating. I got this as a 7.2, man. I had it in a very good territory. All right, Manic Genius.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on, which
Don't
Are
hear
you
you
on the-
without your.
Yeah, you gotta bring up your guy.
I need that other one. I need that.
Oh,
other
okay.
one. I need both of them. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Is it good Manic, bad Manic? It's very dapper. The picture.
That's why he called the Manic Genius.
That's pretty clever, man.
I think I
I had to figure it out.
I was like, how many of these guys we got, man?
Yeah.
The guy in the suit's the genius. The other guy's the Manic.
Yeah. The perpetrator.
You walking around? You walking around with an
I
You walking around with
separated
an M2? You walking around with an M2?
Yeah.
The man got an M2.
But all right, so my rating's a 7.2, very good territory. What's your rating, man and genius?
Oh, this one was pretty easy. I gave it a 2 plus 8. This is a 10. This is a
You gave us a
classic.
10?
you want to?
Whoa, what? You
Oh.
said 10? You said 10?
That's
Oh,
that's see, this is
Dude,
why
you're
I
gonna be the
needed
only
it.
one that think this
I
movie
was
is
gonna
fucking
I was gonna just do the whole just be the voice, but like nah, you gotta see. Yeah, it's gotta be both.
Oh,
Man, you trolling, man. This nigga
I'm not trolling. This is a
trolling.
this
Yeah,
is,
You know what?
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
You don't believe it?
I don't believe it. No, I don't. You're trolling.
this is why you have
Everything
to see
say.
my face to
You're
like.
trolling,
Manic,
man.
I'm gonna appreciate everything you say because for you to say this is a 10, oh bro, I can't wait. I can't wait.
can't
to
Yeah,
wait.
you're
hear
definitely
it
going
now.
first. You're definitely the outlier.
I'm gonna challenge you too. I can't wait.
You said what?
I'm gonna challenge you too. I can't wait.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I want to hear it.
So a solid 10 for man and genius, huh?
Yeah, it's a solid. This is a solid 10.
Boy.
This microphone is
Nah.
and my face is throwing me off.
It's not no
Move
solid.
this out the way.
So
Solid 10.
you got this up there with like the Titanics, Godfather,
yeah.
Braveheart,
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah. Those are classics.
Yeah.
Baby Boy.
Motherfucking Misery.
Baby Boy.
Misery is a
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
Hey, look,
Misery?
Hey,
Classic, yeah.
I
Misery
told
is a
you,
classic.
I
this
do.
movie was one of Tyler Perry up their work. I'll give it to him, but
Yeah, I think.
you
I-
gonna have to say a
Nah,
whole
man.
lot for me.
Yeah,
to
I think-
consider
I
this
think
10 worth.
this-
Dude, I can
this
name
was-
5 Tyler Perry movies that was better than this movie.
5.
Same
Go ahead.
here.
I bet you could.
All right, go
All right,
ahead.
but hold on.
listen.
Let me get
Nah, I
everybody's
wanna hear
rating,
it.
and we're gonna go in on it. We're gonna go in. He's gotta explain himself.
Hey,
Yeah.
CLF, I ain't gonna lie. If you name me 3 movies, you already pretty much perfectly understand what this movie is. By the time you
I'm
name
talking about
me
Tyler
three.
Perry films.
Yeah.
I
No,
give you 5,
exactly.
I give you 5 off the top.
I can only name one other one that's like close with this, and it doesn't have nowhere near as many layers. But go
All
ahead.
right.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
I'll
right,
wait to
Wally.
see LS.
So what's your rating, Wally?
Yeah, I'm sticking on a 7.
Okay, so Wally's up there between good and very good. All right, Casey, Fred.
I went ahead and gave it a 7.5.
Okay, so very good. In between that and excellent. So very good territory. Amazing.
I hate to be an outlier, but
Ooh,
I was going, and I felt this was generous.
You said what?
I said I felt this was being generous at a 5.
Okay.
okay.
So you,
No. She went with the narrative. That's not too crazy. She went with the narrative because most people rate this around a 5.
So you're in between average and decent. Okay, we got you. So you and Manic are the outliers so far. So CLS, what's your rating?
I give it a 7.
Okay,
Like
okay,
a
7. So
solid
we're
7.
in close territory.
7.
Should we get Manic Genius again since he's at the bottom?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he could correct this
Mine is
shit.
a 7.
Let's get the double ganger in.
Yeah, go ahead. All right. The voice of Manic. What the genius believes is actually true. This is a 10. I have to agree with Manic on this one. The movie just has so many layers, and I understand why people don't get it because, not everybody is super smart.
No, you're
so
right about that.
can't-
The layers are
they can't catch everything.
there. The layers are there for sure. It was a man. Look, I say it like this. This movie was a doozy. Like everything unfolded towards the middle and the end. If you were paying attention.
Absolutely,
Literally.
absolutely.
All right, so you got justified out of 10 rating.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm gonna summarize. I'm not gonna make it too long and tedious, and we'll break it down because, like I said, there's just so many layers. So by the time we start talking about scenes, that's when y'all are gonna start to realize, like, damn, oh, this shit was deeper than I expected. I liked it because, when we think about classics, we always think about like the time period in which we watched it, and like you go back and watch some of the classics. They're good. They're great. Some of them are even better than what you originally imagined because you're older now. You see things from a different perspective, and you can really appreciate, a really good movie and a classic. This movie is in modern times. It's not like they went back in the past and like, okay, we're going to tell this story. This is like in real time, and it deals with every issue that's, the big topics of relationship dynamics. So I thought Tyler Perry was so masterful and not just telling one story, not just telling two stories. He told multiple stories in this movie.
This
and
Negro said masterful.
Masterful. Like he told multiple stories, and he even he showed like so many different scenarios, but he highlighted like the key points and got to it quickly, and then still allowed the movie to the middle and end to have its own full movie by putting so much information in there. But like he addressed so many different archetypes in these relationship dynamic conversations. And I just feel like like I said, it was masterful in which the way he was able to identify all the different archetypes that like the archetypes that men complain about, he identified them. Archetypes that women complain about, he identified them and just put them all together. And just, if you didn't catch it, like there were so many different, like each character had their own like archetype, and he made certain ones more extreme than the others. And he even like sprinkled in some other ones that if you're not paying attention, you're not going to catch. So it's just like so many different relationship dynamics that he put in the movie. And there were some parts that were cheesy, but if you understand Tyler Perry's audience and market audience, there's certain things you have to keep very basic level, and like it's almost comedic. It's like over the top. Like if you watch any of Tyler Perry's work, he does certain things just completely over the top. Like I know one of his clips went viral when he had like his sitcom, and the dude got slapped, and he got slapped lightly, and he spun around like 6 times, and then finally fell to the ground, and everybody was laughing. And it's like, that's Tyler Perry for you. Like he'll make a bad situation that you're supposed to be like, oh my gosh, that's intense, and he'll throw some comedy in there. Like for some people who have like different twisted or like different senses of humor. So it's just like he did that all throughout this movie. And once we get to like the scene breakdown parts, then I'll be able to just really just go in on every archetype. But I thought I haven't seen any movies recently that really can. Most movies have 2 or 3 different archetypes. He had like every character, everybody who was involved had a completely different archetype. And it wasn't like just jam-packed. This movie didn't feel super long. It didn't feel super short. There was a part where I was just like, I don't really know how I'm liking this. And then I was like, oh no, that's really dope. Like, oh, it's moving at a good pace. Oh, it's slowing down. Oh, it's speeding up. Like there's just a lot of changes. The middle and end of the movie felt completely different from the very beginning. but in like a good way.
CLS. Is he
CLS.
he tripping CLS?
Man, I was trying not to laugh. Sorry.
What was your rating, CLS?
We got to break down the scene for scene. I gave it a 7.
Yeah, okay.
Dude, that shit, I agree with most of the stuff you said, but it was still too predictable. And some of that shit wasn't even fucking believable, bro.
So predictable.
It was
So predictable.
Okay,
It was too predictable.
Hey, we gotta hold on. Let me get everybody's breakdown and then we'll go in. But Manic, real quick. So who is his target audience? Because I heard you mention that.
Yeah.
Oh, his target audience. I've been watching. I'm a little bit biased too. I'll put that out there. I've been watching Tyler Perry, like his plays before, you know, he was internationally known and stuff like that. Like even before he was nationally known. Like I used to go to his plays in Philly in the early or the mid 2000s, before he got any type of movie deals. And his plays, his writing, his style is like very dramatic, over the top. You're going to laugh. Like you should be laughing. So it's just like when he does serious movies, it's like he doesn't take all the comedy out. So it's just like some of the over the top scenes, they're meant to be like that on purpose, because when I said target audience, not everybody is the most educated that watches his stuff. So he has things that you can, if you're not super well educated, he has very basic level comedy. He has higher level comedy, and then he has like the highest level comedy that only like really like analytical people are gonna get. So it's just like somebody who's super analytical watching it, they'll be like, "Oh, this is basic. Like, oh, that's not realistic. That's untrue." And it's just like you're missing out on. He's capturing all these people. He's not just focusing on like super intellectuals. This is not like an Inception type movie where yeah, not at all.
No.
But for what it is, like a comedy and to just make fun of the different archetypes and then show how their relationship dynamics, he did excellent on this movie. So that's why I gave it a 10.
So you didn't think it was too much drama crammed in this film?
No,
I think
it
crammed at once, like back to back, like all that drama on Mea.
No, absolutely not. Because that's what he wanted. He's the lead. That's what he wanted. He wanted to show like turmoil, but he wanted to also show her being a boss and handling it. And she did well throughout most of the movie. You know, she had her weak moments, and they were big weak moments. And yeah, big weak moments. And you know, the extremes of how they had to get there. It was just like, oh wow, like I would have to wait to get to the scenes for like.
Okay, we're gonna break that down.
Okay.
So who's the other outlier? Amazing. You said a 5.
She said,
but before I go to Amazing, shout out to your photo down there, man. Was you like trick or treating as like a businessman or something?
Yeah.
I should have cropped it less. If I would have cropped it less, then you guys would have seen like the wine and the piano I was like standing over.
You look like you.
Okay.
Is that one of those backdrops from JCPenney's?
I was gonna say that same thing. Where you took the words out of my mouth, like a JCPenney catalog, right? One of those JCPenney catalogs.
So you said you was on the piano and you had some wine. Who you think you was? Richard Gere from like Pretty Woman and shit.
That's some white wine and expensive cheese.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He had a plate of like crackers and cheese and shit.
Yeah, silver platter?
All right, Amazing.
So, Manic, I feel like if you thought this movie was deep, you have been playing in some shallow puddles, my friend. With the predictable movie within the first 15 minutes, I literally could tell you 90% of everything that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
There was like one to two things at the very end, one probably. I just thought it was so predictable, but I agree with CLS earlier. I'm not a huge fan of Tyler Perry anyways. But
I am a huge fan.
Definitely not this one.
Just not that movie.
Yeah, no, in general. I'm not a huge fan of Tyler Perry in general.
Okay. Right.
But there is a handful of movies of his I like. And this was like an overrated Lifetime movie to me. I feel like you would love Lifetime at this point, Manic, if you haven't got onto it.
I used to watch Lifetime.
You thought that movie was great.
Send them to the Hallmark channel too. Hallmark and Lifetime. There you go. That'll keep you busy, Manic.
Yeah,
he's gonna break it down for you though.
He did a lot of Hallmark movies too.
The thriller type needs to be an element.
Keep that same energy when we start breaking these scenes down. I don't want to see
break
none
them
of y'all.
down.
I don't want to see none of y'all.
You need to watch
We're gonna break them down. I
Element.
I don't want to see none of y'all having aha moments because this is basic. Y'all seen everything.
All right, okay.
All right, man. Manning say he's gonna school y'all.
Yeah, keep that same energy. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, let me go to Wally real quick. So Wally, you was at a 7, right? Let me put the break down why you gave it a 7.
His position.
No, that's why I put it at a 7 though, because this could be either down or up, depending on certain things that be said. But for me, the reason why I gave it a 7, like I said, the movie was pretty solid. I like what I saw from start to finish, especially at the beginning. One thing I always love is how they sell it at the beginning, and they sold it really good at the beginning. Literally, like if you weren't paying attention at the beginning, you would very much pay attention later on when they put it all together. Because when they finally put it all together towards the end, and you're like, you have that brain fart moment of like, oh, that's why he mentioned that thing in the first place. And it's like, oh, like you're the real villain in this story. Okay, that makes all perfect sense. So, I mean, nonetheless, I mean, look, this movie was great, but the reason why I stick at 7 at least, because I won't give it more, is because honestly, I think that, in my opinion, when I look at this movie, I look at Tyler Perry's work and I'd be like, this is a mixture of 3 movies that he's already done. Yep. And he mixed it in just one movie.
Yep. Oh, okay.
Daddy's Little Girl.
Ooh.
Temptations, The Confession of a Marriage Counselor.
Yeah,
that's
Wally.
number 2. And then the third one was the one that
Acrimony.
Taraji Lee. Yep.
Yeah,
thank
you. Fuck that shit. Yeah, Wally.
We on the same page.
Yo, dude. Can I just chime in just one thing?
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna let Wally finish. Yo, Wally, I promise you that was on my top 5. Let me tell you. Yo, let me tell you the top 5 real quick, and I'll let you continue. I'm sorry. Yo, the family that praised, Acrimony, Daddy's Little Girls, Why Did I Get Married, and I put For Color Girls. That was a good one too.
Yeah. So that literally, like, those are the first 3 movies I thought in my head, and I'm like, yep, this is like a perfect twisted parody of all 3 of these movies because they had elements of all of them in here.
It does.
Which would make this great.
It does.
Which would make this great.
Perfect twisted parody.
But at the same time, it's like, well, if you're using just old work just to revamp into a whole new one, it's like
unoriginal.
Yeah, because you really mix all 3 things.
Super original because it's his work.
Yeah, but
it's original because it's his work. But yeah,
Confessions was better in this movie though.
I didn't like Confessions better than this one. I didn't like Temptation better than this one. The only one I would say was close enough was Acrimony. And like
Acrimony,
Acrimony that one.
I hated the ending, but
I just hated the ending.
I hated the way it ended though. I hated that.
Yeah. But so I have this one over Acrimony.
Yeah.
But Wally, are you done?
Yeah. This is where I'm gonna stop right here.
Great points. I definitely agree with.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I stopped it at 7 because
leftover fried chicken. It's soggy the next day.
You know what? I'm gonna let the mic go. But yeah, but this
all
is
right,
exactly
I'll go ahead and do mine real quick. Mine's just gonna be brief. So I put it at a 7.2 because I do like how he kind of captured like today's arguments. So like you like what Manic was kind of breaking down. You had the prototypes, and we'll get into that more. And then, so I like how he captured that where, if you listen into the podcast where people's talking about it, it has like somebody for each side that everybody's arguing. So I like how he did capture that. To me, it was pretty funny, very predictable. So that's why I couldn't go higher than a 7.2. And I would have actually put it at like 8 category. But the fact that they had light-skinned dudes losing like that, I had to strike it down.
Yeah,
both of their wives got cheated on. They made them super soft. They control it. So they could have done that stereotype.
Can I piggyback on you real quick? The add-ons.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you brought up the light skin, dark skin thing, did you notice in the dark skin, the bald-headed dark skin guy is like the villain in all Tyler Perry movies? You noticed that, right? That y'all light skin niggas are always the heroes.
Not in this one, boy. He had
us
out here. He had the light skin dude straight simping out here.
Temptation was the light skin dude was the villain.
What about
too.
Meet the Browns? Meet the Browns, like Rick Fox, light skin.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
good
now that you think about it, Acrimony was technically the black brother. Like,
bald headed.
but technically, there's no hero and villain in that one. This is just
so
more.
he shares the wealth. Okay, but yeah, I was just like, damn. I was like, man, you know, I don't really watch Tyler Perry movies like that. So yeah, I saw the two light skinned dudes. I was like, damn, both of them got caught up like that. Like, what's going on with this? You know, I'm trying to bring. I told everybody 2024, I'm bringing light skinned dudes back. So you know, it kind of struck a nerve with me. But yeah, that's my recap. I'll go ahead and go to Casey Fred on that.
Light skin problems.
I gave it a 7.5. I thought it was very good. I actually, you know, for people that grew up watching Scooby-Doo, which is a cartoon that I always watch, I kind of actually felt that, where it was like you were trying to find out if Brother Man really did do it, and you went down that vein, and then you had to meet all the different people, and it felt like you was picking sides, and you had to find out, okay, there's something about him that is right, so you want to believe him, but then there's something about him that's totally wrong, and then you find out exactly what it is, and how many times he's done it to so many.
He was a pipeologist,
and I was like,
womanizer.
Wow. Does anybody have any blue paint in the brush? You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of fellas picked up on that.
Nigga painting blue waves.
Right, because Batman was flowing all through the fixate beam of the same way.
Same blue wave.
And then I thought it was very interesting about the ending too. But what got me so bad, I know we're gonna get to scenes and stuff, was the black sister. I guess one of the original first ones that he did it to. And as she described what story happened to her, she's watching her face and realizing and started laughing. Oh, it happened to you too, didn't it?
It took her 3 seconds to figure it out when it was in that art gallery. It took her 3 seconds.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like I said, there was like Manic said, there was a bunch of good moments, there was funny moments, but at the end of the day, I couldn't go to no classic. And to be honest with you, I saw it once, and I hate to say this, but could I watch it again? I know we're gonna get to that part. I don't think so. But
would you eat nachos when you watch
everybody else go see it? Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's a good movie for everyone to go see. But once was enough for me. So.
Did you eat nachos when you was watching this movie?
Actually, I didn't, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, to be honest with you. I don't need paint all over my nachos, you know what I'm saying?
Let me go to Amazing real quick. So Amazing. Did you already do your
I already did my summary.
Oh, okay. So let me get CLS, and then we'll go to the questions.
I'm waiting for the scenes breakdown, bro. We can skip me and go straight to the scenes breakdown. I think I'll do better at that part anyway. Y'all did a good job of summing it up. I'm good. Let's break these scenes down. Let's start from that. We can start from
Lord have mercy.
All right, so let me go to this real quick. Fred already kind of answered it. So would you recommend this movie to anyone, or would you watch it again? Manic.
Yes, I recommend this movie to people, and I will watch it again. I'm going to watch it again, and probably a couple more times.
Yeah, I would recommend it in an up. What was that, Amazing?
I said I asked Manic, was he going to watch the whole movie again or just specific scenes?
The whole movie. The whole movie. Just to see how everything's tied up, to see if I missed anything, because I felt like I caught everything. I felt like I caught everything. That's why I gave it such a high rating. But I will watch it again to see if I missed anything.
I would recommend it, and I'll watch it again. But I'll go ahead. Would you?
Do you like Kelly Rowland? Is she your type of woman?
I think Kelly Rowland is beautiful. So that's she's definitely my type. But
my type too.
Yeah, but I felt like, honestly, in today's society, in the late modern movies, not talking about movies where they're trying to do stuff in the past and old school stuff like that. A lot of movies use sex to sell, like super hard, and the sex scenes in movies are like always over the top. I think they did a really good job here of being like tasteful. Like, I mean, it was a little bit, it was a little bit too much for my personal preference, but it wasn't bad. Like when they did show the stuff, it was just like, it was pretty quick. They didn't spend like so much time. Like you watch some movie, I go into a theater and then watch a movie that has a sex scene. The sex scene would be like 5 minutes long. It's just honestly uncomfortable, especially if you with somebody who, you know, it's not on that type of time. So I think this was
filler.
Huh? Yeah, but this movie, you know, they had a couple of scenes, and he was a super sexual person. So like they could have went. I honestly thought from the because I didn't watch the trailer. I watched the trailer afterwards, but afterwards when I watched the trailer, I was like, man, looking at this movie, this looks like the black version of 50 Shades of Grey. But actually watching the movie, nothing like that. They didn't focus on his super sexual stuff. They didn't like try to just make it seem like they did the scenes like normally, but you know, they moved past it pretty quickly. So I appreciated that aspect.
Yeah. I won't
you talking about 50 Shades of Grey. And boy, he had too much colors for 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, he did. He smashed the raw dog on a blank canvas.
A lot of colors for 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
But all right, let me get Wally real quick. Would you recommend this to anyone, and would you watch this again?
Would I recommend? Yes. Would I watch it again? For sure, because boy, there was so much in this I didn't catch the first time that I wish I did. But when it all came through, yeah. So I'll definitely watch it again, and I'll definitely recommend for people to watch it.
My man Casey Fred already answered this, so we'll go ahead and skip over him and get to Amazing. So Amazing, would you recommend this to anybody, and would you watch this again?
I would recommend, but I can't see me watching it again. It was like background.
Okay.
Shooting background. Like, let me just get the ambiance.
CLS, would you recommend this to anyone, and would you watch this again?
Yeah, I would watch it again. If I was hanging out with a group of people who never saw it, I would only watch it just to observe, just to see their reaction to it, and then talk shit afterwards.
And so we'll go ahead and jump into the next question. But what I'm gonna do on this one, I'm gonna roll, question 3 and 4 together. So what did you think about the storyline, and what scene stuck out to you? So that way we could kind of make sure we hit everything, because I know everybody's chomping at the bits to kind of jump into the scenes and stuff. So we'll merge those two together if y'all want to, or y'all could just go straight to the scenes part, because I think we're gonna have a big dialogue on that. So Manic, we're gonna go to him first, because since he gave this a classic, we gotta hear what either we went to sleep on this movie, or he watched a whole other one. You sure you watched Mea Culpa?
Yeah, I did.
Well, start from the was it when it was getting couples counseling? Start from that, the couch. Start from there.
Now I'm gonna start before.
All right.
I actually I have this on my TV. I have a setting where I can watch, or I can listen to the movie, like the audio, and the TV will be completely black. Like it looks like it's off, but it's, the audio, comes out. So the first
you got a regular TV?
No. Like the TV is black. I forget what the feature is, but it's like a feature where it's just like lights out mode, where you're just listening to the audio of the movie, and listening to the audio of the movie as I was like laying down the first time around. I was like, yo, the writing was like pretty fast paced, and it was so fast paced in the beginning that I was like, wait, I watched like 30 minutes of it like that, and then I went back and like, okay, I got to see the visuals for this. And it was intensified because the opening scene is, just a skyline, the cityscape. And I realized how great my TV is. I'm like, damn, like the graphics were crazy. So like the
pixels was on point.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous. And I was like, damn, I really got good TV. And but like,
you get it from Best Buy. Let's plug them. Shit, since you want to go there.
What you got?
Shout out to Best Buy. I got a Sony. It's like an 85-inch.
Okay,
big money.
It's just a big TV.
So Kelly Rowland was damn near in your house and shit.
Oh my god,
was
she in my house?
Right.
But no, the opening scene, right? It was so crisp and clear, and then it went right into it, and everybody was dressed so nice, and that's unrealistic. You know, I mean, I don't look at Tyler Perry's movies for like the realism. I look at Tyler Perry's movies for the messages that he's like portraying for the characters and like what he's trying to do. So I would say from the opening scene, just the cityscape when you're seeing the buildings and the reflection off of the building, it was just really good. And I was just like, oh wow, Tyler Perry stepped up his budget, because I feel like Tyler Perry Studios is notorious for doing a lot with a little. Like, I feel like if you gave most directors just one room and said, create a movie, you have to do everything in this one room. Most directors can't do it. Tyler Perry can. He can do a whole movie in one room and just like change the background. You can see if it's cheesy. Like, if you really pay attention, you're like, wait, all his shots are like pretty small. They're not really big. You know, there's no real big explosions, or if there's an explosion, it's really cheesy. Like, so he doesn't spend so much time on like the special effects to like, he spends it on like the, you know, hey, trying to get everybody to understand like different elements and different layers of the movie. I liked how the movie started off. Their relationship was in turmoil and you don't know why. They start talking about it and they're like, oh, you do know why. It's the mother. And then you later find out it's not just the mother. It's like, this dude don't even have a job. And he's like, but he had a job, working hard guy, you know, but he just couldn't do it. Like, and there's like stress that he's dealing with to where he's doing drugs and comes into work and lose it. Like, so it's just like, it's real stuff. Because I know people who've been through things like that and who have that type of mentality of like, man, I work, I'm the man, I do this. And it's like, you lose your job. That doesn't change. You don't just become like, oh, I lost my job, I'm just going to be, you know, no, you're going to still try to be like, I'm the man, I work, and like, but you don't. And then like, she had to check him, and I liked how it was funny.
You like, pay a bill, pick one.
Yeah. But that was hilarious. But she didn't even like, it's not like she like emasculated him, like, you're not even a real man. And this, she only emasculated him at the very end when she found out that
he was weak.
When she found out at the very, very end. But you see how she grew. She went from like, hey, even when he's going in on her, she lets him slide with shit. She let him slide in front of his family, in front of his safe face. The mother was disrespectful, like.
But you do remember, she said they got married when they were really young.
Yeah.
They got married. They were really young when they got married, so that's probably part of the reason. They basically grew up together, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But I like how they made her, because she is a professional businesswoman. So I feel like somebody smart. I mean, I work with professional women all the time, and like, that's how they react. They don't like, they're not this aggressive thing that, you know, the internet talks about. Like, the internet and reality are two very different things. And so like, I feel like this movie was over the top, but it was over the top because it captured the internet's version of how relationship dynamics, and it was like perfect. So if you're comparing it with real life, then yeah, you're gonna be like, oh, this movie's cheesy, this movie's basic. It's like, but if you actually are like in these YouTube spaces and like watch other podcasts and hear these red pill rants and like these 304 women talk about, oh, a man should do XYZ, like, he captures all that in this movie. And like, I'm not gonna go into any more scenes, but like, because I know Amy Amazing, you know, she's really good with her scenes. So I would just like, whatever scenes, I'm just gonna like add, and like, you know, it's really like the character development, not development, but like, it's really the character archetypes that like really impressed me, how many he was able to squeeze in there. And it didn't feel like, I honestly didn't feel like it was like, I didn't feel like it was like too much. I thought it was like really impressive for you to do that much with so little.
Okay. All right, let me get Wally in here.
All right. So as far as the plot and storyline, I believe this was very well done for what it was. As far as the actors or actresses or the scenes, so like I said before, once this movie started and they got to the dinner, that was like that big hitter for me right there. That was like, yep, here comes the mother, the typical mother that don't like the daughter that my son married. You really know where this is going.
Predictable.
Then Yep, pretty much predictable right there at that point.
Yep.
Then at the same time, I didn't think. Now this is one thing I didn't.
Is
think
that predictable
about,
or is that relatable?
Well,
Relatable.
relatable.
I'm sorry,
more than
relatable.
anything.
Well, it's
Yeah,
relatable. Relatable.
Yeah, relatable. So, and
Don't let them correct you, CLS. Stand firm on your shit.
One's negative. One's a
that's
negative, and then one's a positive. So, like,
Right.
if something's predictable and you're watching this, that's a negative.
Right.
If
Well, I
something's
predicted-
relatable, that's a super positive.
Well, I
for a
predicted
movie.
she was gonna stay with his black ass. Didn't that happen? Did she stay with him? Did she stay with him?
She was gonna.
I mean,
she
think about it. You just gave a long speech about professional people and all this shit. So you mean to tell me it's realistic to think that a black woman would stay with a nigga for 8 months with no fucking job and he playing video games with his childhood friend while she come home from work?
Yes.
And then the one man she decides to cheat with is on trial for murder.
Exactly.
Yes.
Dude.
And look,
Absolutely.
Again,
Dude.
let's run this back here. Bring
right,
it back to me real quick. Bring back the time over here.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Look. So like I said, the moment when the mother scene came in, the whole dinner, that was on point as far as how the mother would react, right? What didn't click to me at first, what eventually clicked to me later was the fact of how the daughter was also on the down end, especially when she wasn't sitting next to her husband. You would think that would have been the case, but she wasn't.
Mama's boy.
Right. Well, I'm not talking about her, but I'm talking about the other one, the best friend.
A friend? Her
Yeah,
best
that was with the other
sister-in-law.
brother. Yeah,
the
with the other brother.
sister-in-law. The
Yeah,
sister-in-law.
because she wasn't over there on his side, which you would think that she would be, but that was the
Right.
case. So just to see how the fact that the so-called best friend since day one, and then everyone up, and then to the mother, that was the main niche. You see how the inner loop was like set in motion, and everybody else downwards, like, yep, y'all the separators. And it's like, then when he ended up mentioning the whole piece of the painting, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Well, how did you collect the painting? And then we never even thought to even check out the painting, like if there was anything under it, because when you found out about the layers later on,
them layers,
you would think, hey, do you still got the painting at your house? Can I see it? But that never came to play. I don't know why. Another thing that was really just off the rails for me, because you're talking about a woman with cancer, it's like, this is where this was like, okay, you had this in your mind. You would know somebody that's going through cancer, going through the phase. Is this cancer 1, 2? They don't really be very specific. They're just like, oh, she has cancer. And it's like, if she's going through it, when eventually chemo is going to get involved? Because she looked like she was still fresh throughout the whole thing. I'm like,
facts.
This woman doesn't even look like she's even going through it. You're not selling this for me. And then come to find out, it was all cap. It was all lie.
And she had her eyebrows.
Cap.
You're right. Like it was all phases. It was all phases. It was all lines and phases. And don't get me wrong, it was a nice plot twist. It was a nice plot twist. To like, okay, cool. But the fact of the matter is that she herself didn't think that, like, but I think the only reason why is because the masking of the relationship. So that was the cover up to why she wasn't really thinking about it, because she didn't want to think about her at all. But even then, it's like, still have that wits about you and be able to recognize the signs. Because you can tell just by looking at somebody, this woman wasn't really going through it like that. You're drinking wine, but you're going through a lot of issues. Like, come on now. So it was a little bit, that was so off for me.
You're making dinner after chemo for everybody.
Right. It was too off. It was way too off.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was way too off. Another hitter for me in this movie, like just in part of scenes, was like, once it got to the whole factor point of the relationship between client and, of course, the guy that's in the movie. See, because this one was actually a little bit tricky but fun, because it's like at the same notion, you're getting in someone's mind and mental, is like, and then you're really realizing y'all similar in a lot of ways. But you're looking at it from a different perspective. I like how he connected the perspective of the painting and art, and it's like then connecting it to your feelings and everything else. See, that was a good dynamic in how he broke that down, because that's a dimension I would definitely say that sold that for me, and how they creatively delivered this in a way, like how you're connecting feelings. Like, how does an artist truly think when he's making his art and how he's designing it? That is actually a good thing for me, because I really looked at that and I'd be like, that's pretty good. But it also goes into his whole art of being the villain in a sense, because like, you are wooer, like you know how the mind works. How you know that you're just not capping too much, because you're doing too much that's also contradicting everything that's about you in this movie, to make you look like the villain because you're too much of a smooth talker.
Yeah.
And it's
you caught that too.
Yeah, it was too much. It was too much contradiction.
Yeah, they tried too hard.
Yeah.
They tried way too hard. So
wait,
hold on, Wally. So I understand what you're saying. You said they tried too hard, making him a smooth talker.
I wasn't saying. No, I wasn't saying they're trying too hard making him a smooth talker. I said that it was too much. He was pretty much contradicting who he is. It's like you're trying to sit here and say that
you're not
the villain.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just overall, but like you're not the villain, but at the same time, because of you understanding the mental mind frame of somebody, because of what you do for work in a career, it's also like you're choosing to use this as a weapon. It's like you're tipping on a lot of scales and a lot of shards. Like, bro, be careful
I agree with
here.
you on that one.
Yeah, don't do that. And overall, like when you look at this, the bit now here was the big thing for me. When the scene come in where he had the whore around, and then she was in the apartment, like
the neighbor, his neighbor,
his neighbor.
No, this is neighbor. The white neighbor,
yeah.
The white neighbor, right?
There's someone, whoever, that stranger, whoever. But all I know was
like
the moment
one or two.
Hey, look, it is what it is.
It's titled Female One.
Hey, at the end of the day, when she rolled up. The thing that actually could be the thing that was so weird to me is like, wait a minute. So I'm just taking a wild guess, but in this moment when I'm seeing this, and this dude literally has her like, literally, and you're building this ish right there in front of her. I'm like, you wouldn't slap him? Like,
what did she?
I was surprised that she didn't slap him because I thought she was gonna slap him.
Hey, wow,
I'm so serious.
Hold on. I knew she wouldn't slap him because his whole demeanor. She's not. He was very aggressive, pressing up on her. He's big and he's like pushing up on her, like, hey, he's definitely the type where she's thinking twice, like, yeah, I can't put my hands on this dude. Like, he might actually. And plus, he's on trial for murder.
Wally.
By all means, but my thing is, when you're thinking about it, though, at first glance, you're not like, I don't care. I would think you would slap him. I would think for me, but go ahead, CLS.
No, I was gonna add on to what you just said. So after he got some top or whatever, he was getting his dick sucked by the white girl, right? So you think it's realistic that a black woman is gonna start making out with dude after he got his dick sucked? He sent her away. He said, "You can go." He told her to leave. He was like, "You can go."
Right.
Then he started pushing on her butt ass nigga, and then he started kissing her. Yeah, right.
And that was
kissing his ass, man. Really, dude.
And then it's like you had to keep on convincing, like, okay, we're gonna leave here, go to another place, and then do it again, like then try it again. Like, come on now. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't need to do all that.
Dude, that nigga set the tone in the first moment she came to that apartment. Do you guys remember the music that was playing in the background?
Oh yeah. I
This motherfucker was playing the fucking Osley Brothers and the OJs.
Oh yeah.
He set it up
smooth ass shit.
This is what I'm trying to say. He's good at
trying to get some pussy.
Manipulating game tactics. Is on 10.
Come on, the Osley Brothers? Really?
Yeah.
The CLS. You had a really good point when you were like, hey, no black woman is gonna tolerate that, and it's just
They're
like,
not.
listen. I agree with you. I thought the same exact thing when she walked down the stairs. I was like, yo, this dude is wilding. Like, he's really wilding. It's like he definitely lost her. Like, she was just like, oh, I'm so disgusted. She walked away, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, there's no way this relationship continues. Like, this is something crazy has to happen. And literally,
something big crazy has to happen.
The next scene happened, and she was just like.
And can I add on one thing that you said earlier? Remember you was talking about the first love making scene where they're on that blank canvas on the floor and they was making love or whatever. Did you see that nigga put a condom on?
No.
Exactly. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. So he was literally just having unprotected sex with a white girl on his bed, and then he sent her away, and they ended up fucking her on the floor 20 minutes later. Fuck out of here, man.
Hey, we'll talk about it in the back chat.
All right. That's what I got more to add on to. I got more to add on to it too. I got more to add on, bro. I got more to add on.
Hey, but you know what? Man, you know what, CLS? You know what I'll tell you? That's within the emotional complex. She wasn't thinking about all that. She was just thinking about just getting it over with.
Can we talk about how she got there though? Jimmy fucked up.
Yep.
Jimmy fucked
now,
up.
But granted, this was another thing. This was another key part right here. When they sold the scenery of him going to the hotel, I'm like, at first I was like, oh damn, bro, no. I'm like, but then I'm like, when you actually go back and look at that picture, I'm like, well, wait a minute now. This don't look right. If something was gonna really go down and really passionate, like, come on, bro. Like, this is too classy. Holding the door, she just walks on in. Like, if you were really gonna do something, you would have been grabbing on him, all that, pulling him in. Bro, that something would have definitely went down. Bro, nah.
Can I tell you what I thought, though? Can I tell you what I thought? Jimmy was the person that fooled me. Real talk. Jimmy was the person that fooled me. I initially thought that him and Zaire were like somewhat cool. Like, remember he said he was I guess he was like evaluating them. He was talking, we breaking them down, and he was like, "Well, I still like you though, but blah blah blah." I thought maybe they were cool, and just maybe Mia didn't know about it, and maybe he was attending one of them sex parties, them orgies or something. I don't know, but yeah, I thought maybe he showed her that because remember he was keeping tabs. He was keeping tabs on Cal, and she didn't ask him to. He was like, "Yeah, I just want you to stay informed and all that stuff." And then he shows her the photo. He's like, "Well, I didn't want to show it to you, but it's good that you stay informed." So I thought maybe he was trying to, because you got to remember, that was the breaking point right there. She put up with all that shit. And the minute she showed that photo, that's when she decided to go off the deep end and sleep with him. Right after he saw that photo.
Listen,
But it never occurred to him.
CLS, go ahead, finish your point.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, come on, dude. This dude was unemployed for 8 months. So do you ever see him pick up his cell phone and get on LinkedIn or Indeed?
Nah, he was a kind of a loser. They painted him like this.
Bro. He was a loser.
He had to be the loser though. He had to play the part well because
he was a doctor, a surgeon.
Hold on, let me just ask CLS. The dude, the main character Zaire, was ripped, cut up. He's definitely in the gym. You can't be in the gym. You're lifting weights constantly. Did they show one time him in the gym doing the gym scene of him lifting weights? No.
Lifting women with his penis.
You don't get that cut lifting women with your penis.
He does.
No.
He's bench pressing chicks.
Yeah.
That's my point though. They didn't try to show every single aspect of everybody's life. They
there
just showed
a lot of realism in this, and that's fair.
Yeah. No, there was honestly realism in it because
there was
Zaire,
realism, but not to the highest degree. Like
to the highest. But like if you look at Zaire, like all they say, all he does is passionate about painting and women. So it's just like my man has his balance, and he likes a little extreme riding on his motorcycle and stuff like that. He likes traveling and peace, but he's doing something he passionately loves, and it's just simple. So it's like he does have time in his free day because he's not doing. He has time to work out 3 hours out of the day and then paint all the rest of the day and be with women.
So
and
you can infer that he has some weights somewhere in the corner somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he probably has some dumbbells in there somewhere, a curl bar or some shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, my only point was that Tyler Perry chose to show the scene when she came home from work and he was playing video games.
He's playing a video game, talking to his friend Jenna.
And you know what? And that same moment right there, that's that same moment. When you think about Temptations, that's that same moment, right? Husband over there watching the football game. The wife come home and it's like, you've been watching the football game all day. In the same flip twist that this guy's over here playing the video games with your best friend since whatever. I'm like, this is too close. This is too close.
But you don't know if he didn't spend.
Hold on, let me get Mason and Fred's scenes real quick.
I never even finished, but it's good.
Casey, Fred, what scenes and what did you think about the plot or storyline in here?
I thought the storyline was really good. I'm not really more about words as I'm more about pictures and imagery. And so I'm just going to kind of like break it down from a different perspective, if that's okay.
I'm still here.
One of the first things was the main character that Kelly Rowland played. You saw her at the beginning of the movie. Where all of a sudden she's this powerful, she has her own business, she's this attorney that all of a sudden everybody respects. She's got her own personal assistant that's willing to be able to grab her flowers at any moment and this, that, and the other. And then she's willing to take on a case that the rest of the world pretty much sees Zaire as the guilty party. And that's where the Scooby-Doo thing starts taking across because you're trying to figure out, did this guy really do it or not? So then as the movie progressed, she all of a sudden goes ahead, you know what? This is who I am. I can take this on in spite of what the family says, in spite of what the public says, this, that, and the other. But somehow, some way, she gets caught up with this guy. And of course, like I said, I had brought it up before, you know, the painting, the blue waves, and that one scene with the black sister who was one of the original ones when he was poor and just trying to get his art together, and she did it. Okay, I gotta take you back. CLS, you're gonna know this as soon as I say this. It reminded me of a scene in Boomerang.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy goes out there and the chick from Martin.
Lady Eloise.
Same height, same build. Oh, yeah, it's you, girl. It's you.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure, Lady
I'm
Eloise.
glad they picked her.
I'm going to you too.
Oh my God.
And that made me laugh so much because that's what it reminded me of. And she was so descriptive in their gallery and just talking about this is who he is. And the key word that he pointed out, she asked him flat out, is he a killer? And she said, you know what? He's not a killer. He's a snake. And what do you mean by that? Well, he's a snake and you can easily be charmed by him if you're not careful. And then starts talking about the painting and going into that. And looking like after we made love, I see a picture of myself up above the wall. And she's trying to keep a straight face, but you could tell she's getting hot and hot. And then as soon as it's over with, she makes a beeline out of there and gets back to his place. He's supposed to be painting and stuff. And she went right upstairs. No kiss, no loving, no huggy, no nothing. Went up there and just started tearing stuff off until all of a sudden she realized all these women were underneath it. And she realized, you know what? No, he's not a killer. It's exactly what she said. He's a womanizer, and I've been tricked and fooled by the game that he's been playing for not years, but probably decades. And then I thought about that, and so it continues to go on. And towards the end of the movie, she helps him when she finally realizes the truth that is her own family that all of a sudden that's not only set him up, but they have their own personal agenda in the whole thing. And then at the very end of the movie, it cracked me up because she was wearing all these powerful colors. She was showing her face. She was all business-like. But at the very end of the movie, she's got on all black. Shades, covered up and everything. That lets you know that she had been through something. But you know what? It's not about my name. It's not about anything. I'm done with all of it. And it's time for me to move on with my life. And I just thought that whole imagery was just so powerful to me. And like I said, it blew my mind. And then like you guys were talking about the light skin brother or whatever, but that part also cracked me up too, because the whole time you knew he was ambitious. You knew that he was all of a sudden trying to go after fame and fortune and political hype and everything.
Oh yeah, the brother-in-law.
I realized to the very end that his own woman had all of a sudden been caught up, and that red light got me because I never forget. Even back with Kelly Rowland, there was a red light, and we're all like, "Don't go, girl! Don't go down that alley! Don't be following him!" And there was a red light, and you knew what was on. As soon as you get to the inside of that place, it was nothing but trouble, heartache, and he was like, "Oh man, this ain't good. I need to get out of here." And it was the same way when she opened up that door and saw that painting of her sister-in-law in there. She had been down the same trap in the same road, and so I thought, like I said, it reminded me of the Scooby-Doo where you thought it was one person and they took out the hood and you realized that it was somebody else.
That's a good point.
I thought it was really cool. So I get the point where it's predictable, but it was still even in the predictability, you knew it was still good enough, and you said, "Okay, Tyler Perry, you got me. I you know what I mean? That's good enough." Now, it's a classic. No. Do I want to watch it again? Not really. You messed up the nachos. I don't appreciate that. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let me get Amazing in here now. So Amazing.
I like the way you broke it down, though.
Break down.
You did a good job.
I'm gonna have to go back to the snake part because that's a key one right there.
All right, Amazing. So what did you think about the plot and storyline and what scenes?
too much. Again, it reminded me of a Lifetime Movie Network movie.
Amazing. You didn't take no notes. You didn't jot nothing down.
Not
Come on.
well, because it was so like from the very beginning, like from the first scene, and this is so weird to me because it's not normally something I ever pay attention to, and when I say ever, I mean literally ever. But when they were at the dinner table and the mom came up to greet everybody, the first thing I noticed is like that. Why does she have that weird wig on? Because it was so horrible. Mm-hmm. And then, so I knew that wig had something to do with it. So it was, and that's not something I normally, but I knew that it had something. So then to come to find out that the whole cancer was a sham, it made perfect sense. And that was from like the jump. And then she was just the mother-in-law was so nasty. Which again, and to say I really only do like a handful of Tyler Perry movies, and I think it is just because to me it's like normally so over the top. So in one way it was predictable as over the top because I was thinking nobody is going to put up with that nonsense. So the husband is either like the weakest man alive to let his wife be treated like that. And then otherwise she would have had to have been so insecure, which just did not go with what her character was supposed to be, to also let, you know, she would have divorced long
because
before
she's a lawyer.
Else.
Like,
exactly.
Like that was the thing that pissed me off because like you didn't read all the clues. You weren't really thinking. You were a lawyer.
And that's the thing.
Oh, yeah, lawyers are not pushovers like that either. They're not fucking pushovers.
She was a thought though, man.
So even think about
Mia.
Hold on, let Mason finish.
Okay, goes on.
But I was gonna say, even with her, and that was like to me, like where like there was just so many breakdowns, is because they wanted her to be this strong character, yet she was being treated like total trash from the mother-in-law. She married like the weakest man alive.
Facts.
And then when she does decide to have an then when she does have an affair, which you already know it's coming, like you know she's gonna have an affair with this man right away. This wasn't even a man that like flattered her. He treated her like, in Wally's words, any whore around that he was already.
Damn, like I would have said all that.
He did. He treated her like a piece of meat. He did. That was.
Shout out to Wally. Like, verbatim from Wally.
Nah. I want to say all that. The way he was talking to her, and you had to put music. Nah, that had to be a special type of one for that. Come on now. He's a little bit more than that.
It's not even like he tried to like convince her. He just was a total d-bag.
Oh, okay. Now that's true because let's be honest. This is his playbook. So that on the same hands, like you treat her like everybody else that you literally ever encountered with. So
my man didn't even get her a 2 for $20. He didn't get her a bite to eat. He was just serving up like. All right, go ahead, Amazing.
Match up with what her character I thought was supposed to be. So I'm trying to think of what other ones. Right away I knew when, do you guys remember when she went to his house to meet? Which again, no criminal lawyer is going to go to your apartment and then you have that music playing and is going to hang out for the rest of the conversation.
Yeah, she would have automatically just
exactly.
Dump that thing to
and
the
then
side.
when she shows the video of like the supposed dead girlfriend and like, well, what about this? That was so extra. I was like, oh, she's not even dead. She's alive somewhere. I called that from the very beginning.
They don't got no body. Like
I never thought he was
exactly because there was no body. Like you had no body.
Well, they to me where I thought it was extra is they tried too hard to like make him look guilty. Like they tried too hard to make you not like him as like almost like this sexual immoral. I thought they tried to portray that way too hard that you knew he wasn't.
You know what?
Actually guilty. So that's where I was just like, they're trying for that. So hard.
No, actually, I'm actually agree with Amazing on this. I'm actually agree with Amazing because there's a point in this, right? Because you got to think about this, right? If every escapade of everything that he ever does with any of his clients was always sexual, and they would believe that somewhere along the lines that y'all were having some type of fornication or something, or there was some type of madness, they would have swapped them. Like they would have checked them out body wise to see if any of her parts was on her like in a recent time frame. And I'm surprised they didn't even do that, or in some cases, because I would think.
Well, and then like when we talked earlier about the scene when she did end up getting when they did end up hooking up. Mm-hmm. After she's seen everything, she's not coming back in. Like it just, to me, it was so unrealistic. And then just based off that picture, like Wally, you mentioned earlier, that to me, the first thing would have been, if she did anything, it would have been to call the husband just to see if he picked up. Now, like say she called and he didn't pick up because they were moving, and then that got brought out later, that I thought would have been more realistic. But I don't think she's just going to go back just because she saw that picture after everything else. Like now, if they would have made her call and then say, like, because that was the excuse, right? Like they were moving into the hotel, and like it did a scene flash to him and his phone, like he couldn't get his phone because he had a big box in his hand. And then she was like, oh, this mother effer, and then did it. But just from the picture, I was like, come on, you guys, like they tried to like focus on him being like this sexual deviant so bad for people not to like him. Mm-hmm. And then her see all that, and then just come back from like a basic photo, and then not even cuddled up together. I was like, give me a break.
Oh, you know, amazing. You actually sold something else for me too. Because now that I think about it, the moment she got that picture, she should have called. She should have called. She should have called. She figured it out. Because the story could have been like, because they could have pointed out, like, okay, I'm
y'all missing a key point, though, and I'm gonna break it down for y'all.
Oh, good.
But look, the moment
I know exactly where you're going with that. They missed it. It went over their heads.
The moment that she got that pitch, she should have at least made a call and be like, to see what would he say. Because I think that would have been another like piece of influx that would have actually ramped up the show a little bit. Because the moment you call, he would have said something else different, or he would have clarified that he went to the hotel and then he's meeting up with such and such. That would have actually clarified a long time ago, where she would not have made that mistake. That's actually a missed point right there. That's actually decent.
I missed it.
He just didn't sell me as an artist either. He did not sell me at all. I will say I like the way the end wrapped around. Yeah. What's that?
All right, so let me go ahead and break it down now. But I thought the plot and the storyline was good. It was definitely predictable, because even in the beginning, I think I was telling you amazing. I was like, damn, he got a lot of pictures of females that he's painting in his place. So I already knew he was about that life. Like, because I pointed that out to her. I was like, yeah, my man, he got a lot of pictures of women. So, but I think the storyline, I think where it got brilliant somewhat, where it wasn't about the husband being weak. It wasn't about the guy being like a sexual deviant, because like Amazing was saying, he was very obvious. This whole movie was about Mia being a thought. And she did.
Okay.
Not straight up, because it was like, man, like, just go back to that part where she ended up sleeping with him, and that like, after she saw that stuff. Most people wouldn't have been out there, and she probably would have got with Jimmy or somebody, but the fact that she saw all that stuff and she got with that dude, she wanted to do it anyway. She just needed the excuse at that moment. So I think that's where like the story.
I'm telling you, because Jimmy showed the picture. That was when she reached her breaking point. When Jimmy showed her that photo.
No, dog. Because first of all, nobody's gonna be hanging out in the loft with him and all that stuff. You know, getting that close and
look,
you know, all those exchanges. She would have never been there in the first place. So she was already in her mind like, I'm gonna go down this path.
But you know what? Jerry, I'll say this though: if she had saw that her best friend was one of the many victims of those freaking paintings, I guarantee you she would never do it then. I guarantee you then.
I don't even think she. I think she still would have, because man, she literally saw another women in there going down on this guy and came back and gave him some. She was a lot, man.
And she was the neighbor. She was like, that was the neighbor.
Straight up.
She would have left with dude.
This dude literally went to a sex party. He ain't buy her a Pop-Tart. She saw him at a sex party. She saw another woman like him having sex. She was gonna give him some. She was gonna give him some eventually. Like it was gonna go down. So that's what I'm saying. Like I think they put the guy in there. The 2 week. They had the extremes. The weak guy. Then they had the one like a sexual guy to kind of give her an excuse and make her be like the victim.
I looked at
she was a thought.
Weak guy and the confident guy.
Jerk, I have to agree with you, because the reality.
Appreciate you, Fred.
She was having a battle in her mind anyway. And that's one of the reasons why there's a scene where he was like, why you got me back over here at your office? No, I just need it to be right here where we can do it here. And he was like, no, I don't feel right. You got me all in front of the public and stuff. People all looking at me and stuff. You just need to come back to my loft. Yeah. He just wanted it to be his turn.
No lawyer does that.
He was like, you feel me, right?
No lawyer does that.
Like, he was up front. He ain't like misguide her. He was like, look, you want me, don't you? So that's what I'm saying. Like, she wanted to get, she knew what she was doing. This whole movie was about her.
I'll just say she threw herself in the grave though too. Because think about this, right? She told him to stay out of the public. Now you want to switch it and be like, oh no, you need to come. Which one is it? Stay out the public or come to me and meet me regardless of what you hear. Like
coming to your attorney's office, I wouldn't really think though. That's not like.
Yeah, there's no issue with that. But when she went up to his spot numerous times, and as soon as she saw that picture, she went back there.
Remember when Jimmy was there, and she was like, "What do you think?" And he was like, "He's a psychopath," or whatever.
Yeah,
he is.
But I still like him.
Was like,
and then he said, "I still like him."
Yeah, I missed that.
He said all that stuff about him. He said, "I still like him."
Yeah, but he peeped it out a little bit. He just had his way with it.
When Jimmy showed that photo, that's pretty much just set the, it was like a domino effect after that.
That was her excuse. Like, you know what? Now I got a solid excuse to go and do this because I was going to do it anyways. But now I can blame this little loser that I'm with.
But we didn't talk about what happened.
She was gonna do it when she did it, like when she walked in and he was playing video games. Like,
yeah.
But I will have to say, I have to agree with you because
we forgot a scene. What about how he treated Mia like a side chick? Remember when they had sex and he gave her the rollover? Motherfucker, he got like 7 good strokes and he busted his nut.
Yeah, he's like, I'm good.
Yo, she sat on the bed and looked back.
No, the way he did. Okay, wait a minute.
Nigga, that's it.
Remember when we watched the movie last week?
That's energy when you've been sleeping with somebody for a very, very long time. Once the job is done, the job is done.
Yeah, you get 10 strokes. He was stroking like 7 strokes.
That reminded me of Robots when we watched the last movie. That thing was
every time you sleep with somebody, you gotta cuddle with them.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You gotta cuddle with them. Like you could be with your woman, you could be with your wife, you could be with the love of your life. Like after you get your whatchamacallit off, you could be good, and you don't have to cuddle. Especially after when you've been with somebody for a long time. When you're in the honeymoon phase, you've been with somebody for a year, you've been with somebody like 2 years.
Let's get back to the movie. Let's get back to the movie.
My man he didn't even get 10 good pumps. That wasn't even 10 good pumps.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna say something. Back to the movie. That scene when Jimmy's grilling them, and then they go back. Yeah, I was waiting for somebody to say it. Wally mentioned it. In the beginning. This movie it had so many archetypes. I'm just going to talk about Jimmy. This whole movie could have been because of Jimmy. Like he is the most important character in this movie because this movie starts. Hold on, let me finish. This movie starts in the middle of their turmoil. The turmoil she has with her husband. The turmoil she has with her husband is based off the relationship that he has with his mother that she doesn't like, and this lack of trust that she has for him. And she has this best friend, Jimmy, who happens to be a private investigator. And she has him telling her husband. And we don't know how long he's been telling her husband. We don't know how long he's been following, taking notes. But he did it. Hold on. He did it with such a level of passion and pride.
Let me know when you're done so I can break this down for you.
And he came up with nothing. Because her man was clean,
but
he still
kept tabs on him. He still kept tabs on him.
Yeah, he found out he was a drug addict. Everybody has their secrets, but he found out that he like deals with drugs, do whatever stress or whatnot. And we don't know the timeline of how long they've been beefing. We don't know if this is like a year thing. We don't know if this is like a 5-year thing. We don't know if this is just how the relationship dynamic is. But we know that she has this crazy, great relationship with Jimmy. He's her best friend. Oh, I see you like a sister. She's got her guard completely down. She takes his information and then takes it as the gospel. She didn't even question the picture. And that's why when I wanted to give Wally some pushback, when he's like, yo, she should have called him. I thought the same thing. I'm like, realistically, like, why didn't she just call her husband and be like, what is this?
That would have been another twist.
That would, but, for the movie
you guys are wrong.
and for the movie to happen,
She overreacted.
I
she
get
definitely
it. No, I
overreacted.
get it. But I'm gonna say
Overreacted.
it could have been another twist and play that would have cleared some things. But I get it because
You guys are thrown off.
that got her over the board. So it had to be the one.
Yeah, so
I get it.
So that's why I say Jimmy is this movie couldn't exist without Jimmy because he's giving her bad advice. He is not, and he's the.
Well, I won't say bad advice. He's
giving her terrible advice. He's giving her terrible advice. Hold on. Think about this shit. He gave her a picture with him, with her husband, and a girl walking into a hotel room. Mm-hmm. You find out later that everybody was in that same hotel room. Yep. So he took a screenshot. So he had the video footage. Mm-hmm. No cameras are in hotels just taking still pictures. Yeah. No, it's taking video footage. He cropped the video footage and said, I'm only going to take this one screenshot of this whole footage instead of watching it through like from the time that it comes in.
But see, man, this is where you guys are broke.
And then hold on. No, because and then to get that footage, it shows you that he has, skills in his profession. Mm-hmm. So he had to go to the hotel or he had to hack into something to get that information, to get that video.
Or he had somebody inside.
Or he had somebody inside. But if he had somebody inside would have told them, oh yeah, it was a whole group of them.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing. That's information out. But think about it. If you're going to a hotel, you're gonna automatically close the door the moment you get in. No one's not gonna ever see it unless you have something inside the rooms. So unless you have something inside the rooms in every room and then you're just surveying everything, then it's like, okay, fine. But I think the one thing I'll agree with you is like, okay, yeah, that showing the picture was a little bit screwy, especially without having at least a clarity of facts. But at the same time, it's like, again, like you said, this was just an important pick that you could have took any which way around it. You couldn't either call and then figured it out, or you could have just went on your emotions and then let it ride out. So
you guys are tripping.
Can I add on what you said?
Wait, hold on. This is just my last point about Jimmy.
Right.
When Emmy mentioned the scene where she's like, "Oh, he's a psychopath." I watched that scene like 3-4 times because, Jimmy came there to shit on Zaire because he realized, okay, this is a fly dude. Like, and this is shit. Like, real recognizes real. Like, when somebody's fly, you recognize that they're fly. When somebody's flyer than you if you're a real man, you can admit that. Like, oh shit, he's fucking fly. So Jimmy,
the guy on trial for murder.
He did say he liked him.
Yeah, the guy on trial for murder. That the guy on trial for murder is fly. He's rich, successful, in shape, whatever. All of that. Jimmy seen him immediately as a threat. So he was just like, yeah, he shouldn't. He was kind of pushing her. Yeah, I probably don't take this case. And then when she said she's taking it, he was like, oh yeah, I support you, girl. I'm your best friend and stuff like that. I'll be a part of it. He came over there with the intention to be like, hey, I'm going to make him look like the killer. I'm going to make him look bad. Like, I found the worst stuff about his case. This is an ex-girlfriend.
But that's what they
sadistic.
have to
do. No.
What are you talking about?
No,
absolutely.
No. I get what he's saying, but my
you gotta let me finish.
Right, go ahead.
I'll land the plane faster then. So they're supposed to do that, absolutely. But to the level that he did it, and then when they went out, he left and was like, okay, I can't break this guy in front of her. He tried to break him. He did not break Zaire. Zaire didn't look like he was lying or anything like that. So he left. Jimmy failed. Jimmy came there to break down Zaire and so, hey, this is a terrible person. He is the killer, but I'm just going to show you that he's the killer. He failed at that. Left. Hold on. Left. Mea came back out there in the stairwell. Was like, hold on, I got to talk to him. She's like, what do you think? You're like the best person who knows how to read body language. He was like, he's lying. And then the very next sentence, it paused. If you just noticed that scene, it paused for a minute. And then he came back and said, he waited for her. And she's like, I don't know. She gets the look like, I believe it. And then he switches his whole stance and says, well, he's actually really good. If he's not lying, he's a psychopath. So he listens, he reads Mea's body language and then changes up his whole stance. Because his initial verdict was he's lying. And it was just a shut case. He's lying. He's a liar. He killed her. And then he saw that Mea was not believing that and then waited and then started speaking more. And like, if you pause it and like pull up the subtitles and read it, it's like double talk. And then his last line is, if he's not a liar, he's a psychopath. So either you're going to be with the liar or you're going to be with the psychopath. So it's just like,
here's why I disagree with you. Because I think Jimmy was in there to throw everybody. I'm telling you, this movie was about her wanting to just do what she wanted to to a certain degree because
I agree with you on that point. I agree.
Because first of all, she selected the weak man. Because like the mom wouldn't have been that crazy from the jump. You know, you would have saw them red flags from the jump. So she still got with that dude, even though the mom and her probably had conflict. Because that mom didn't like her regardless.
Verbal punching.
Moms just don't change like that.
Yeah, because
then the second thing is why the hell you got a good friend like that where he's impressionable and you like that. So that's what I'm saying. It's really about her and her internal conflicts. Like she wanted that dude regardless, even though it was like. I mean, the dude showed who he was. Like, it wasn't even like he tricked her, and then it was her ego. You remember when the lady was like kind of telling her, and she just came back and got mad at him. Like, it's like, man, this dude, you knew who he was, but now that you found out he ran that simple game on all these other chicks, because it's not like it was a high level game. Like he was some psychologist. This cat was a Ted Bundy or some shit.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, it was like basic game, and he was just like, "Look, come to the loft. I'm playing some soul music. I got this other chick in here. You see me doing this, like, and now you got the audacity to get mad and shit because I ran better game on you. Like, that's what I'm telling you. It's about her ego and her hard-headedness. I think that's what Tyler Perry was trying to capture. Like, she was just out of bounds. And then after she found out about her husband, she went on the City Girls trip.
But you know, another part that wasn't believable, that add on to what Manny was saying a minute ago, you know, that wasn't totally just unbelievable. Like this, there's no way in hell she would have followed through and did what she did. Like after, like remember, okay, after she cheated already, and then I guess she, you know, she goes back to the family house and they find out the truth, and you know, her husband breaks down, start flipping tables and crying and all that shit, right? Remember? You remember what happened? The mother tell her, get the fuck out and never come back here, right? Because she already wasn't dealing with the family anyway, because they were all controlling her life, and she was pretty much the verbal punching bag at that table, right?
Yeah.
So would anybody on this panel go back to that fucking house? Just answer that before I continue. No. Would you? Okay. So she flies all the way to fucking Dior to clear her mind, right? To clear her head. Then she finds out the truth. She had, you know, Jimmy's her
the number one caller.
Exactly.
And she chose to call the freaking brother. Like that's crazy.
Exactly.
Why
would she listen to him? Why would she listen to him? Now all of a sudden, okay, he said, no, just fly, just come back to the house, just come home. I'll send my people, I'll send my PI out there and you'll find
exactly.
And why what they trust him, yo?
Exactly.
I mean, she had to tell him because he was the DA, so he has the power to stop the case.
No,
because they already reached the deal.
But you don't have to go back to the house. She didn't have to go back to the house.
Would be smart.
No, she didn't have to go back to the house. I agree with you on that.
That's my point.
But think about it though. But you got.
That's what I'm saying. She was just a dumb thought.
If I'm making my first call, I'm calling Jimmy. I'm calling Jimmy first. That's the first call right there.
Jimmy. I would have been right. I said, man, fuck
but
him.
that's why I said that
that
altercation with her.
She needed to call her priest. That's what she needed to call.
Well, yeah, that decision that she ever made because that was bad.
What decision was that? Stupidest.
No. Remember when that altercation when she found the girl and then she had her phone out and she was pulling the phone while she's trying to get at her? Like that was a stupid moment right there. Like why would you use your phone and trying to catch her at the same time? That's stupid.
Yeah, what the fuck? When she sprayed like lemon pledge in her eyes or some shit and took her phone.
Yeah, she sprayed her like
she hit her with the Lysol.
You ain't focusing on the target. Focus on the target, then use your phone.
Yeah,
but yeah, she was just dumb, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it was just like because I see what y'all saying, but I think those all the guys were pretty much just like an excuse for her to do what the hell she was like jumping into her desires and temptations and stuff. So it's really about her.
Yeah, like you were saying, because I would agree to it because think about it, even regards how you feel about how how James explained, you know, if the guy was a psychopath or not, or neither he wasn't to be trusted. Like you can automatically sit here and say he's not to be trusted because you don't know too much information and you don't have enough of information to get off of him. But at the same time, the way how you're explaining his psyche, I don't think so. That's a bad thing. I think the way he explained it was good enough for her to understand. Do not get involved with him.
Yeah.
Regardless what happens. Like that was the signal he was sending. That was the message he was sending. Do not get involved with him.
Exactly. But hold on, Wally. Hold on. That's perfect. I forgot to mention that, but that's exactly what Jimmy was doing. Like, hey, I'm gonna go here and grill him. So it's like, yeah, you're supposed to grill your client to make sure that they can like cover their holes and stuff like that. But he was going there to like, hey, regardless, just like Wally said, regardless, do not get involved with him because the shit he likes to do is crazy. It's sadistic. Like, you know, like that's a big word. Like that's a very powerful word. There's nothing ever positive with that word that gets associated with it. But hold on. Like honestly, his plan completely backfired because it made her more curious. It made her intrigued. And I disagree that she was a thought, but I 100% agree that she wanted to fuck him from the very beginning. She's not a thought, but she definitely wanted to sleep with him from the very beginning.
I say like this, Jerk, you had to think, but let's be honest though, man.
Dog, he was literally smashing a chick in the house and she was watching going down the elevator. That's not behavior, homie. Like, stop behavior.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Hold on. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so because I know
how many females y'all know that's gonna do like that would rock out in a scene like that.
I don't.
Dude, if I was Mia, this movie would have been fucking 30 minutes long. This would have been a short ass movie. It'd have been a short film. This would have been a short film if I was Mia.
TV show.
First off,
that birthday dinner. Yo, as soon as she walked in, that bitch. Oh, look, the queen has arrived. Oh, I wish you were my daughter-in-law. You know what I'm saying? She's just a punching bag.
Can you?
Go ahead, man. Go because we gotta start closing it down.
I'll just say, experience. You know, my personal experience with women is that they are a lot more emotional than I am. And when you allow emotions to override your logic and make decisions for you, I could see that happening. I could see a good woman falling weak in a moment like that. Like, damn, I just found out my man's cheating on me. I'm going to go, fuck it. I've been wanting to fuck this guy anyway. I'm attracted to him. I've been spending a lot of time with him. He actually seems like a really exciting guy. And like, I kind of believe him that he didn't kill her. If he didn't kill her, like this dude is, I'm curious. Like everything.
And it doesn't matter that I see him getting pleasured by somebody else.
Yeah. No, it does. It does matter. It does. No, it does matter. But some women look at that as a challenge. Some women look at that as like, oh, nah, you going to do that?
I'll do that. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, Manic, I would agree with you. If they didn't have that scene with the lady was in there, that's why it would have flowed. Because that was the only issue I had, but once a female is too egotistical to like do that, that's what I'm saying. They would have been out.
Exactly,
but Manic, I'll say this, bro. Manic, you had to read this, right? She had multiple signs to not mess with dude. Like there was too much signs, bro.
No, but Manic is correct on the point where if a dude cheated on somebody, a female would, in some cases, want to get that payback, but. If she would have went in there and saw that other chick in there, she would have been like, I'm out of there. That's what I'm saying. That's where they kind of messed up in the storyline.
Ain't no black woman gonna tolerate that shit.
Like, no woman. It don't matter what color she is.
No woman. Well, especially a black woman. You know the history of that.
I'm like, I wish it was random.
You know the history of that.
I'll share a story with y'all when this back chat.
Back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying?
When this live ends. I ain't saying on no lie.
No, it was just too far fetched. Like I get it. Like people do what they, but yeah, in that case, they would have been like, nah, this is too over the top. Plus, my man, you know, she's still trying to figure out if he has a homie on her, all that. Yeah, she would have been out of that crib, though. Like, better try to die on that hill, though.
I guarantee one thing. Though, she found out about the best friend. She would never did then.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, right there, the closer for me, that was like, bro, that's tough.
She should have confided in her. Of course, she's not going to tell her husband, but I'm sure he probably found out at some point. But she would, if that was her best friend, she would have told her, you know.
Yeah, not necessarily. This movie is about Mia's internal conflict.
If she thought it was a chance that she might end up hooking up with her, why not tell her? You know, saying to kind of warn her about.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
But all right, we'll go ahead. Let me go around real quick and let me get everybody. So, would you change your score? Let me get CLS first. You gonna stay the same, or are you gonna go up or down?
Stay the same. 7.
Okay, amazing. You gonna keep your score? You gonna go up or down? You say you're staying the same.
Yep.
All right, Casey, Fred.
Same.
Wally.
After listening
Wally,
to
remember that
else,
it came out of your mouth that this was just a remake of Leftovers.
Hey, look, that's true. Now, don't get it twisted. That's true. But
so you got
Wally said this is a remix.
This was a twisted parody. That doesn't mean that doesn't push this back or push it up. I was really trying to listen to y'all to see if I was gonna go up or down. And overall, I'm gonna move up. I'll move up to 7.5.
Okay.
All right.
Shout out to
Okay.
Wally. All right, man, and genius.
Wally.
Well, shit, we could. Can you even go up anymore? You already got it in like Titanic territory.
Yeah, right,
Yeah,
you
I
gonna put it
can't
at
go up.
20. Keep
I
talking to
can't-
him. You gonna
you
put it at
better-
damn 20.
I can't go up
Yeah.
any higher. I can't
Yeah,
go
this
up
is
any
20.
higher. But
I was like,
I'm
you
gonna
have
stay.
insulted for me.
I'm gonna stay at my 10 because, I mean, there wasn't really any compelling argument that I felt like that made the movie lose anything for me. I just don't feel like yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
Okay, man. Okay.
I mean, I'm being honest. Like, I feel like
All right.
the stuff that maybe I'm biased.
So you didn't think
because-
Mia was a thought? You thought she was a good, wholesome female?
All right, well,
No,
it's the
I
thought that
honestly
reason we
did.
knocked this
I
down.
did. I think
okay?
she's a good, wholesome
All right,
female.
good.
That I do think that she was a good, wholesome female that allowed her emotions to take control, and she made a bad decision that, cost everything.
Are you?
Yeah, that's like typical any other, romance or
No,
thriller.
that's most women.
Well, no, I'm saying for the movie. I'm saying that's a typical sell. Typical sell of the woman.
All right.
You gotta
Spend enough
leave.
time with women, and you'll see.
Nah,
Like,
you know
they'll
what?
make an emotional decision that's like bad. Like most women who are married, still
Well,
have
I'm
coverage.
focused on the movie. I ain't focused on reality right now.
Have you dated a lawyer before?
Huh?
Have you
I
dated
have.
a lawyer before? Oh yeah.
I have.
Oh wow.
All right.
And a
Your
doctor.
next girlfriend gonna be a lawyer,
So we'll go around real quick. Let me get everybody's parting words real quick.
just like Mia.
So let me get everybody's part. All right, Fred, what's the parting words?
Well, I have to agree with everyone in the sense of everyone in this movie has skeletons that eventually came out. And so the reality of it is this, kind of like what Manning said, her skeletons, not only did they come out and nobody really thought they would, but it blew her mind. And, when you roll the dice, be careful, because sometimes you come up deuces and it don't roll in your favor, and snake eyes. And she literally got bit. And then you could tell how mad she was, because and she was mad at herself for allowing herself to be able to fall so hard. And once you fall, it's hard to get back up. And so, like I said, it did cost her everything. And so, yeah, like I said, I saw it once, but that was all I needed to
You
see.
good, huh?
But hey, everyone check out the movie, though. Check it out, though.
So you one and done, huh? One and done.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
and done, bro. One
Did
and
she
done.
get bit, or did the guys get bit from her? And her lack of morality. No, I'm joking. Go ahead, amazing.
That bit, because Brother Man, he already knew who he was. He's a snake, and he's getting ready to make some more pictures. He's got some more paint.
Oh yeah, he got paint for days.
And
my man.
Damn right.
he said he got enough blue paint to keep it going probably for the rest of his life. So
Yeah, right.
the waves been coming.
All right, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Parting words.
If you like this movie, check out LMN because you'll love them. That's what I got to say and close it out with. That's all I got.
So just from your standpoint, real quick, you think Manic was delusional?
Very.
Okay.
I think he has must have had a Destiny's Child picture up in his room as a teen, and he just can't get over it.
Oh man, that's
Destiny's
Destiny's
Child
Child
poster. He said you a Kelly Rowland fan.
No, I think she did. I
I
think
am
she
too.
did. I was impressed with her acting ability.
I know,
Nah, she did a good job.
yeah.
Honestly,
She was
I do
good.
Yeah,
think she did a good job in her acting. I thought she was solid.
No, she made Dots cool.
Look.
She made Dots
Yeah.
cool.
We're not gonna go there. But I'll say this though: if we had to compare
She
between
put
her
City Girls on the map.
and then Gabrielle Union's lawyer comparison, I think she was a little bit off on that. But other than that, yeah.
Oh yeah, but no, but that's not fair.
Gabrielle
Gabrielle
Union's
Union
No,
is a better
because
actor.
think about it. Because think about
She's a better
no, 'cause
actress.
well, yeah, but I'm saying when you think about the lawyer scenes and how they played it out and everything, she played a little bit more better as far as just being a little bit more aware of it. That's what I'm saying. Looking at that.
But she's you mean because she was a lawyer in Daddy's Little Girls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And those are one of the three movies.
But all right,
I put in
CLS,
that
I gotta get the
Martin
closing words. Let me get CLS with your closing remarks.
Don't if you like I said, if you like Mia, don't let the world treat you like don't let the world treat you like the verbal punching bag or the side chick. And make sure you like this video, leave comments below, and don't treat us like a side chick.
Straight up. I like
and with
that
said, what CLS was trying to say, if you like Mia, don't let the world treat you like Ish.
Yeah,
straight up. All right, Wally, what's your part words, man?
My parting words. So I just remember going back to the whole snake thing. I actually do like how they made the comparison to the snake, because if you actually look at it, right, the snake is actually pretty a loving thing to actually look at, but it's so dangerous because if you allow it to, if you focus on it too much, it can sneak up on you. And I love how they made that comparison between the snake and the dude, because pretty much that is what he is. And his layers would be like when he shed his skin, because he can look brand new, but he always plays the same because his whole skin is the same thing regardless when it comes out of it. No matter what. Doesn't matter what the playbook is. It's always the same game. Yeah. But other than that, look, if you go watch this movie, trust me when I sit here and say this, if you remember the 3 movies I said that are pretty much this movie that sums it up, watch those 3 movies, watch this, and you will definitely see what I'm talking about, because it is literally 3 movies that this man used in his own artwork and then made this lovely twisted parody of what this is today. So, yeah.
And you want to know why? Because he wrote it by himself. No, seriously, he did. He wrote that. He wrote that. I think
Manic must have helped him out with this shit. Manic fighting for this for like he must have got some written credits in the background and shit.
Nah, so. He wrote it by himself.
It was just
he wrote the whole script.
He got it from the world because the world was helping.
But all right, Manic, give your part of words.
Yeah, I had a great conversation. I definitely feel like this is one of the movies that I'd definitely be willing to do like a part 2 on. I think that I think it's just a great movie. I felt the main character, like there's people just think that people have game, but people fail to realize there's so many levels of game, and game is not a bad thing. It's just really just awareness. And I think that the main character, Nair, whatever his name is,
Zaire.
Yeah, I know it was wrong, but yeah,
he had muscles. He didn't have game.
Yeah, Zaire.
Zaire.
Yeah, Zaire.
Yeah, the paintings.
Don't get his clean cut now.
So I feel like
muscles and money. Like that's what he had. Muscles and money.
They did a good job of building his archetype, and they did a good job of making him smart and smooth, but not super intelligent. Like, because my man's game wasn't like, it was super high, but it wasn't like the highest level. It wasn't no like James Bond, where it's like fictitious, like he has the perfect line for everything. Like, he had so many good lines, and then when push came to shove, and she was just like, he's like, I got my last card to play.
Yeah,
love you. I was just like, I did not expect him to do the I love you. I thought it was going to be on some like what she said. She was just like, oh, you think you're just going to do this? Like, I love you. It's just like, yo, that's not gonna work.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, that's not gonna work.
You know what that is?
Street level.
You know what that is?
Street level game. Yeah.
You ever see Thin Line Between Love and Hate?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell her you love her.
Yeah. but that's the beauty of and I'm glad you mentioned that and made the reference, because that was the beauty of this movie for me. It's like he encompassed so much in the conversations, and like Jimmy, the male best friend, a snake ruining your marriage. Yeah, like and if you guys didn't, if my closing remark, if you didn't take anything away from this review or this movie, watch it again and just realize that one of the messages, a woman with a male best friend, it's not gonna work, because that male best friend probably likes you.
What did I say before this, jerk? What did I say before this?
That male best friend, it doesn't matter how many years he likes you, he might just be cool with you, but I think like that was one of the big messages. It's like, hey, a male best friend can literally ruin your marriage. Like, without Jimmy, I could make a case.
So you're saying the male best friend? No, I'm thinking the female best friend. Okay, never mind.
But mama's boys could also ruin the marriage, because that mama was terrible.
Yeah, for sure. But that's common. That's common. I think everybody can understand that. Like the only difference between like mama's boys is like the only difference between like a mama's boy situation is like it's a little bit subjective, because somebody will say, "Oh,
No,
I'm not a mama's boy."
Yeah, that one was beyond.
Yeah,
that
this one was
terrible.
clear. It's like, yeah, this is on the spectrum.
But I'm definitely with Manic on the male best friends. Yeah, man, them cats be sabotaging. So I like how they definitely capture that. Just to piggyback off that, I'll give my closing remarks.
What was the sabotaging?
No,
he ruined their marriage.
He did.
No, I don't blame him for that.
No, but
she was a
that's
thought.
what I'm saying. Like,
this movie was about that.
Broken. What you talking about?
Yeah. I'm like, he didn't ruin it. He contributed.
If you told me her husband, if you told me her husband with the female best friend, now I agree with you. But no, not like that, because he wasn't even on it like that. She wasn't even on it like that. Come on.
She selected bad. Then she had the male best friend. She was out of bounds, man. And then she made any excuse because she wanted to get with homeboy. Like, she saw all the red flags. My man wasn't even like, he was blunt with it. He was out front with the game. He was on some like extra over the top stuff, and she still wanted parts. She was hard headed. So this movie was about her lack of good decision making. That's what it was about. So I think that's what Tyler Perry was trying to capture. That's why he had the dynamics with the guys to like give people excuses to see like what excuses y'all would make for her. Well, Mia, she had her breaking point at this moment. Man, she had the male best friend. She was all out of bounds going to my man's loft. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it shouldn't even got to that point. So that's the whole point of the story. She was out of bounds. She had the male best friend. She should have never been. Look, you come to my office or you don't come over.
If you want to go to the beginning, would have prevented everything. Would have been the husband not doing drugs and being fired.
Mm-hmm.
But she could have just left him. That's what I'm saying. Like, this was about her. She wanted to hold on to him.
But think about it.
But look, he paid one bill in 8 months.
He was trying to prove a point. Because remember, towards the end, right? He was like, my mother told me about you, but I was trying to prove her wrong. And that was the problem. He was trying to prove wrong. So that's why he had to play them things. That's why he had to play it like that.
Dude, but see, she could have just left him because she had a good career. So it's not like she had to stay with him out of necessity. That's what I'm saying. Like, this was about her being greedy. Yeah. And she was a thought.
He was lying to his family for 8 months too.
And we're coming back to this. We might have to do a part 2. But
we gotta do a part 2.
They already knew that.
Yeah. He's a bum.
But all right, y'all. Tune in. We might do a part 2 breakdown. This was definitely a lot of layers. Manic, he was definitely delusional on this one, but he's still my man.
I was definitely right. Look how long this podcast went, and we're still not done talking about it. So
I know. There's some layers on it.
Of course.
It's definitely
this was literally one of the movies that was so screaming for warfare of if it's up or down in the middle. Like, come on.
Yeah, shout out to Tyler Perry on this one. This was definitely a good conversation piece. So we're gonna have to circle back. Mm-hmm. But all right, y'all, tune in. Let us know y'all ratings and stuff. Let us know how delusional you think Manic is. We're gonna have a delusion rating on this one. So let us know. But all right, peace.